What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Brian, and welcome to the No News, Just Facts podcast. Let me get the music going here because I usually like to use music, so set the mood here real quick so y'all can know my vibes right now. All these beats playing are my own beats. So, all right. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day as well. So, all right. So, it's a lot to get to today. So, I don't really want to waste your time. It's a lot to get to today. Yeah. In this episode, I named it Gatekeepers because, well, it's a lot of gatekeeperish things that have happened. So, let's start with the obvious. Let me just let this ride for a little bit. Turn it down just a little bit. All right, let's get into it. So, the billionaire who was put in jail for a sex trafficking ring committed suicide in his cell, I believe, was it last week? It was last week, so. Okay, so. It's I don't know how to tackle this, but, well, it's like when you have money and you have power, you can get away with things, even if you die in the process. So, they said that the guy was under, suicide watch because I guess they felt he was ashamed, so he was of course he wanted to kill himself because this is a disgrace on him and whoever his family is or whatever. And what's crazy is that the guy probably knew a lot of people. No, not even probably. He knew a lot of powerful people that could get tossed in jail. Get tossed in jail for a lot of illegal things. Even the sitting president knew him. So there's a lot of illegal things that happened that I'm sure he knew about or knew about, his friends in power. But now we'll never know because he's dead. So, I don't know, man. It just doesn't smell right when he's supposed to be under suicide watch and, just miraculously he finds a chance to kill himself. Something don't smell right about that, bro. And he knew a lot of powerful people that could, certainly be brought to justice. Come on now. That's not no mystery. That was supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen. I'm sure there was somebody or an occurrence where they said, listen, it's too many people in power that and we don't need them all being on the news. Remember, these people in power control the news. They control the media. They can make their own narrative and do what the hell they want to do. So it's easy to just change the narrative and make something else. And they probably went up to Jeffery Epstein and said, listen, you either gonna kill yourself or we gonna kill you and we just gonna go after the rest of your family or whoever loves you. So pick an option. And I'm sure they made it look like, a security guard, fell asleep or something like that. or it was an outside third party security guard, and he didn't know what to do or whatever. And Jeffrey Epstein got his chance, and he wasn't sharing a cell with anybody. So all he had to do was just, I don't know if he stabbed himself or what he did, or hung himself or something. I don't know what he did, but hey, like I said, they control the media, they control the narrative. These people in power can do whatever they want, even if it means somebody just dying unjustly, or did I say unjustly? Excuse me. Even if it means like somebody dying and us in the public never knowing the real true story, is what I meant to say. So, and then the funny part about it is, even through him dying, they still want to go on with the case. What are y'all going on with the case for? The person who you wanted to put in jail for a long time is dead. Who you gonna put in jail? You can't put all these powerful people in jail because you don't have no real evidence. The person who knew enough, and the person who had a lot of intel on all these people in power is dead. If there's a chance that there's other people who know about the 46th president or this person or that person, they're not gonna say anything. They're not gonna say anything because they're too scared. They're too scared to say anything because they might be next. You never know. So I'm gonna just move on from that because I could keep on going with that. You know, I could just keep on going with that forever, and we would never get to a real solid base of a point with that. So, okay, next thing. So Walmart decides that they want to ban violent video games all of a sudden. Now let's forget about the fact that Walmart sells guns. Walmart sells bullets. All you got to do is go to the sporting goods section, and you can find all the hunting guns and bullets and everything like that. Now, why did they wait until now in 2019 to ban the selling of violent video games? First of all, we're missing the true point of mass shootings and the true point of banning things. The thing that needs to be banned, the elephant in the room, of course, is you should not be able to go to a store and just easily purchase a handgun. Bro, I can go to Walmart and purchase a handgun very easily. Y'all trying to skip the narrative of the NRA and the government working together to make sure guns don't never get banned. Don't never get banned in a certain way where a lunatic or somebody who has mental health problems can't get to it. If mental health is really the problem and video games is really the problem, I really feel like y'all should be doing more to not allow people of those symptoms and cases to get guns or violent video games. We missing the point here. We really missing the point. I really feel like they trying to turn a blind eye to all of this. NRA ain't never ever gonna say, "Oh, hey, you know what? It's been too many mass shootings, and we just gonna put a cap on it on the way we promote guns." Psych, that's not happening. That's never happening. Never gonna happen. But I just want to know, why now is a corporation like Walmart, as big as it is, all around America, all of a sudden now banning violent video games? Bro, the Columbine shootings were in like 1999. I was probably 6 or 7 years old when that shooting happened. There have been plenty of mass shootings since the Columbine shootings. And Walmart never thought to say, oh, you know what? It's so many mass shootings and this and that and the third. We should ban violent video games. Y'all wait until 2019 to ban violent video games. That's not even the real problem here. But still, y'all, why does it take this long for things like this to happen? Why does it take so long? Grand Theft Auto has been sold in Walmart for like over 10 years. And all of a sudden, oh, it's wrong to buy GTA at Walmart. We're not going to allow you to buy GTA at Walmart. That's the real problem. A guy literally was in a Madden tournament and shot it up after he lost the game. That's not a violent video game. It was football. It was a football video game. I just really wish mental health would literally be taken seriously. Like really taken seriously to where we could like do like real evaluations. Like mental health should be part of healthcare. Mental health should be part of healthcare to where you can actually take a mental health evaluation test. So you can figure out if somebody is really like, if they're all there or not. Should be able to do that. But you know, that type of bill will never pass because that you know, like I said, the people in power can make any type of narrative that they want to make. They can make it any narrative that they want to make. They control the media. They control everything as far as social media goes and you know, videos and the news and everything like that. So that will never happen. And this Walmart banning violent video games thing does nothing. Because that's not the real problem. But they make it the narrative. So just move on from that, man. Because like I said, I can go on with that as well. Moving on to like some lighter news. Okay, so it's been a trend thus far to do top 50 rappers lists, right? Now, first off, I want to say that let alone 50, people only can do top 5s and top 10s. Why? Because people ain't listen, I don't truly believe that there are that many people in the community of in the community of music that listen to rap. That's just what I think. I don't think you up here making, let alone a top 50 artist list. Come on now. People probably have a top 5, a top 10, but a top 50? Can't nobody in this newer generation really think of top like 50 artists. 50? Come on now. 50 artists. It would take me probably a week to think of 50 artists, maybe, if I really sat there and thought about it. But nobody's really listening to 50 artists. You can't look in somebody's iTunes and be like, "Oh, do you have 50 rappers that you listen to?" Come on now. It's not that many. It's not that many people that can do a top 50 artists. You know, top 50 rappers, let alone top 50 artists. Come on now. You ask the old head, or ask your mom, or ask your grandma, granddad, your father, do you have a top 50? They'll probably give you 50. They'll probably give you 10, 20, but 50? Come on now. 50. Who's really sitting up here naming 50 art? You really have to think about it. It's not something that can just come out like, you know what I'm saying? Come out like coins in a slot machine. That's not easy. That's not easy at all. It's not easy. I mean, I am like I'm kind of overwhelmed at what can just become a trend, like top 50 rappers. Come on, man. Come on now. It's like that time when Chris Rock did that top 5 movie. You know, you specifically had to do 5 rappers. See, that's easy. 5 rappers that you've been listening to. 5 rappers that you can tolerate. 5 rappers that you've been listening to since you were like a kid, or you've been listening to since you was in high school or college. Something like that. That's easy. 50 rappers? Bro, come on now. Who comes up with these things, bro? Seriously, who are these people that come up with these trends, dog? Like, to say the least. Like I said, he made a movie called Top 5, in which you had to name your top 5 rappers. Top 5 rappers of all time. And why those were your top 5 rappers. It's simpler to do 5 instead of 50, you know? So, I mean, let's see here. What else do I got to talk about? I don't want to talk y'all's head off up here. I just want to say something real quick. If you're a comic book person, you know, you're into that type of stuff, I just want to say something real quick about Batman. You know, Batman, the vigilante who doesn't have powers, but he has like a whole bunch of gadgets and he's rich. Have you ever just like thought for a second, Batman's like origin, of course his parents got shot, right? I really feel like Batman's dad was Joe Kennedy. Like, he had like that Joe Kennedy-esque type of trait to him. Because if you think about it, everything that's corrupt about the city of Gotham has to do with Wayne Industries. And then Wayne Industries is something that Bruce Wayne inherited from his dad. And his dad must have really been into some shady stuff, because anytime, like I said, anytime something bad happens or something is going on in the city of Gotham, it always goes back to Wayne Industries. And I feel like his butler Alfred knows like hella stuff about what his dad used to do, like shady things his dad used to do, but he'll never tell Bruce Wayne like the real truth about it. I feel like his mom and his dad were into some shady stuff. Like, you know, of course, you know the story of Joe Kennedy and how his family rose to power, and how so back in like the 40s and everything like that, of course they banned alcohol because they said, yo, alcohol is too crazy out here in these streets. We banning it. You know, anytime something is like an epidemic or something like that, they ban it. Like, let's just say tomorrow, like they used to, like, let's just say tomorrow they ban like Four Loko because it's like it's too much going on with it. They'll just ban it. So alcohol got banned in like the 40s and 50s, I believe. And Joe Kennedy was like, listen, alcohol is a necessity, and it is something that people use to socialize. So while y'all over there banning it, I'm about to keep on making this stuff so I can make my bread and people can feel good. So I don't care about your little band. That's pretty much what he did. He was bootlegging alcohol and selling it and just making money. And, you know, of course, the Kennedys rose to power from that first. And then, of course, later on down the years, of course, John F. Kennedy, his son, would go into politics. And then John F. Kennedy, the brother, Bobby, would go into politics as well. But of course, they would both have the untimely deaths. But still, that was a moment in time for the family, for him to rise up and make the family, bring their power up in a sort of way. And I tie all of that to Bruce Wayne and Bruce Wayne's dad, to how he brought not even just his son, but a company to power. Isn't that just crazy? I could be wrong on that examination, but that's what I believe. I believe that Bruce Wayne's dad, I don't even really know if you like, I don't know Bruce Wayne's dad's name. Isn't that crazy? Haven't you ever wondered, like, damn, what is his name? Like, I've watched a whole bunch of, like, I'm not a comic book head, but I'm like more like I'm more on like the animation side of things. Batman, the animated series, Batman Mask of Phantasm. Anything that has to do with the animation stuff, I'm into it. I love it. Of course, I look into like the television stuff. Of course, Gotham is one of my favorites. Just among a few. But yeah, I've come to that examination and just figured out that is just, that's what I feel. That's what I think Batman's dad was. Joe Kennedy. He did what he had to do to put his family on a certain hierarchy, if you will. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, so there's something that happened in like sports with I don't know if y'all know who this guy named Rich Paul is, but he's supposed to be, I believe he's LeBron James' agent. So the NCAA did this thing, and they did this petty thing, and pretty much said, hey, if you're an agent, you cannot, you have to have an education and have graduated college with a bachelor's degree to talk to any one of these football players, basketball players, volleyball players, whatever. So, I mean, and Rich Paul, of course, is not somebody who went through the traditional way of becoming a sports agent. He doesn't have a formal education. I believe he didn't graduate the 10th grade or something like that, but he became an agent. So I believe LeBron James got on Twitter and said, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing here, but I think he said, y'all tried to play us. Y'all think y'all doing something with that new rule, but it's not gonna stop this train. Pretty much, like I said, I'm paraphrasing here. But I mean, I feel like it's always been a thing in any profession for somebody to rise up out of the crops of struggle. And most people, everybody doesn't get to where you are the same way. Some people pay to go to school, and they have a degree for something that they otherwise wouldn't even be using. Like I said, there are people who are car salesmen who never finish school, but they're great at selling stuff. And that's why they're a car salesman. Same thing for, let me see here. Same thing for people who own businesses. Some people didn't go to business school to become an owner or a distributor of something. They just were always good with numbers without either finishing college or finishing high school. Doesn't make somebody dumb just because they don't finish school. Bill Gates, what? Didn't Bill Gates not finish school? Didn't Steve Jobs not finish school? And then they went on to become the successes that they are. So why is the NCAA blocking a black man? Of course, because I don't think this. I think if the shoe was on the other foot, and this was not trying to make this a race thing, but if the shoe was on the other foot, and it was a white person who didn't go to school, which I'm sure there are agents who are white that didn't go to school to become a sports agent or be in sports management or something like that are walking around here and are able to talk to basketball players who are going to make the jump to the NBA or make the jump to the NFL, and they're doing just fine. But the NCAA makes the rule strictly just because of him, which is terrible because you blocking a man from getting his money, getting his bread, trying to provide for his family, just because you don't like the fact that he's talking to all of these players. It's terrible. It's awful. It's not good. But, the black man is always getting put down. Black man is always going to get put down for something. But I wish him the best, and I hope that he continues to do groundbreaking things in the world of sports agency, sports management, without having to have a formal education. Like I said, you don't have to go through the system. You don't have to go through the system. You can make the system go through you. You can make the system come to you. All right, this is going to be my last thing. So, I don't know if any of y'all listen to rap, but I do. This is what I've been listening to for the past, I guess, maybe 2 months. These are like the main things I've just been listening to in the month of June, July, and pretty much August. Madlib and Freddie Gibbs, Bandana, solid project. I like rap, I like listening to some easy stuff when I'm working out or something like that. But mainly, I want to listen to some rap. I want to listen to something, with some storytelling behind it or some actual lyrical content to it. Like I said, I don't have no problem with the Polo G's and Little Keeds and all those people. That's cool. That's fine. I guess that's cool for like a certain setting and everything like that. But like I said, I like rap. I like the lyrical content, Number 2 is Benny the Butcher, The Plugs I'm At. Funny story. I started listening to Benny Butcher after I watched like an end of the year wrap up show. I think it was Joe Budden and Charlamagne the God, and they were talking about their favorite albums or whatever. And his album Tana Talk 3 came up, and I was like, what in the world is this? So I looked it up, and of course it was, I think Joe Budden had said something about it being like, oh, I put it on there just because, I'm an old head or whatever. And I looked it up, and of course it was what I thought it was. It was a rap album. It was like a lyrical, a lyrical album or whatever. And I could have been like, oh God, I don't want to listen to this. It's too much. It's too much for my head. It's too much for my brain to handle. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. I like lyrical rap. I can never have too much lyrical rap, whether it be trap music or boom bap. Don't matter to me. So I listened to Tana Talk 3, and boy, there are some cuts on there that I love. Like the Joe Pesci 38 song. I like that song. Rubber Bands and Weight. Let me see what else. 97 Hove. there are a couple songs on there I love, and I love what Griselda Records is doing. And of course, this recent one he put out, The Plugs I Met, of course, has some cuts on there, like the 18 Wheeler song with Pusha T. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the song with him. I think it's like the opening track with him and what the hell is Black Thought. That song is just crazy. If you like lyrical rap, I would check that out. What they're doing over there at Griselda Records is so crazy. So number 3 would be Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers 3. I really went into this thinking I was going to hear a lot of trap tracks or something like that. But that wasn't really the case. It was more like boom bap-ish, boom trap type of thing. And when I say boom trap, I mean like boom bap mixed with trap music a little bit. As far as the production goes, of course, solid guest spots on this thing. J. Cole literally shows up on it. Literally shows up on this thing like a few times, more than I think on any of the last Revenge of the Dreamers projects. Revenge of the Dreamers 2 is like my favorite one. But yeah, there's some solid cuts on here too, like Costa Rica. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's like Reason and I believe it's Boss on a song together, in which they're talking about like robbing Punch and robbing J. Cole. It's so funny. Yeah, those are like my top 3 so far that I've been listening to. Of course, Madlib and Freddie Gibbs. I love their the first project that they did, which was Pinata. I think I listened to that like the whole time that it came out. Like that was literally something I went back to so many times. This one I go back to a few times as well. It's definitely a solid project. Now, mind you that Freddie Gibbs and Benny the Butcher talk about cocaine, but that's okay with me. I'm not the one out here selling cocaine or anything like that. It's rap at the end of the day. Then they used to sell drugs and be around drugs. I mean, it's not like they're doing it now. That would be just crazy if they were. So, but yeah, that's like my top 3 right there. That's pretty much the end of the show. I'm going to catch y'all back here. Let's see. I want to say next week, probably Monday. I always do these podcasts on Monday, and I always I'm trying to like get it together, just have topics ready when I do this, because sometimes it be like it's slow. It's kind of hard to get news. It's kind of hard to get something to talk about. And I don't want to be up on here just blabbering and ranting about nothing. That's not even fun. I just want to have something to talk about. So y'all just stay tuned for my next episode. And I guess I'm out of here. Y'all take it easy.